Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my answers for the questions in the Netflix book tag. This tag totally has 11 questions, all of which I'll be dropping down in the description, so don't forget to let your answers in the comments below. Without any further ado, let's get into the questions. Question number 1. Recently watched the book that you most recently read. So by the time I'm filming this video, I finished this this non-fiction book as an audiobook this morning, and it is How to Survive a Pandemic by Dr. Michael Greger. This is a book that was written during the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, that is in April 2020. So it was written in such a short deadline, and I cannot believe that the author managed whipping out such a huge book in such a short time. And I should say that he doesn't just talk about the COVID pandemic that we have right now alone, but also some of the previous pandemics that the humankind has dealt with in the previous decades and centuries. And I should say this is a very educational book in many ways. If you're a person who's interested to learn any of such things, I'd highly recommend you to try this one because it is really well done in that way. Also, the research that the author has done in order to provide us with facts, it's so extreme. Also, apart from all these things, the author being from the field of specialization, that is medicine itself, also proves a really great advantage for the book if you ask me, and it was such a great read. Question number 2. Top picks, a book recommendation to you based on another book you've read. So I picked these two for this. I read Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, which is an young adult urban fantasy, which I read in February and enjoyed a lot. I do have a spoiler-free review of this one on the channel. You can try it out if you're interested. Also, this book is very much beginner friendly in many ways if you ask me. So a book that is similar in tropes to that one is Red, White and Royal Blue, which is an adult contemporary romance which I plan to read this month, that is in March. I've only heard like really great things about this one. Not even a single person whom I follow on the book internet, I have not at all heard even a single bad thing about this one, and it's also a feel-good book as far as I've heard from various of the trustworthy sources that I have for books, and I'm very much interested in reading this one. So this is a recommendation for me based on this book, which I loved a lot. Question number 3. Recently added, the book that you most recently bought. Actually, I received a package of 15 books from 99 Books Cart, whose unboxing is also there out on the channel already. Those are the most recent books that I've acquired, but the latest books that I've bought are these two, which are short stories from the Bane Chronicles, The Course of True Love and First Dates, and The Midnight Air, both by Cassandra Clare. These two short stories are there in the Bane Chronicles bind up itself, but I just bought these two for my collection, and they are really beautiful editions if you ask me. So if you are a collector, I'd highly recommend you to buy this one if you're at all interested, because I'm sure that if you're a collector, you will appreciate this a lot because it's so beautiful. The quality is also really good, guys. I bought these two for like 400 rupees or something. It might sound like a lot, but for the quality of how it feels in the hands and how it is made, I'm sure that it's very much worth it. And also, I've not read these stories for the second time after I bought them, but the quality is so extreme that it's very much worthy for placing into a collection. Question number 4. Popular on Netflix, one book that you haven't read that everyone's been talking about. I've heard everyone talking about this book except me, and it is The 40 Rules of Love. Okay, this is it's not a romantic book, but a book that is based on philosophies for self-love, self-care, and self-recognition as a whole. I've heard really amazing things about this one. Also, many of the Indian booktubers that I follow, they are all in love with this book, so I'm very much intrigued to pick this one up. I do think that I'll be buying it pretty soon and reading it than I thought I would, because there are like multiple signs out there for me put forward by the universe that I should read this book. So let's just wait and see when I'm going to read this one. Question number 5. Comedies, a funny book. I was not able to find my copy of this book from the bookshelf, and the book that I'm talking about is The Belated Bachelor Party by Ravinder Singh. I'm sure that you can read this book and have a quite load of fun if you ask me. It's typically a group of friends, okay, who are married and who are with their families, but they decide to take this bachelor trip to Europe, and they're just going to have a huge trip around Europe. There are many things which go wrong in the trip, and it's just so much fun, especially if I'm sure that you're a guy. You'll be able to enjoy this more than if you're a female, because it's just a group of middle-aged men who used to be roommates when they were in college, and it's just so much fun. I'm not saying that girls cannot enjoy this. Everyone can easily enjoy this, because the moments of friendship that are expressed in this one in a really comical sense are something which everyone, I'm sure, will have experienced in some way or the other in your life, and it has that relatability in terms of humor, so it's very much fun to read. Question number 6. Drama, a character that is a complete drama king or a queen, and I picked a very obvious answer for me, and I'm talking about Jace Vale in At Least in City of Bones, from the Mortal Instruments series. Okay, he's such a drama king. If you ask me in any way, he cannot do anything in such a normal way at all. Okay, he has to exaggerate things and do them. I'm not at all saying that he's a bad person. He is annoying at times for me. Okay, while I read the series for the first time, he was totally annoying for me, but on my second read, I did like Jace Wayland a lot, but he's such a drama king. Believe me, okay, if you read the series, you'll be able to understand what I'm trying to say, because he's such a drama king in every way possible. Number 7, cartoons. A book with cartoons on its cover, and I'm going to answer this one, which is Karma 101 by Joshua Mack. This is not such a famous book, but I do think that if you're a person who likes non-fiction books, you should try this one, because it's relatively a very tiny book, so it will not even take that much time to read. It's also very, very, very easy for everyone to read. Even beginners can just fly through this book very, very easily. Okay, it just tells us about the evolution of the idea and concept of karma, from how it developed in the Eastern Hemisphere, and how it spread to the Western Hemisphere, and how the concept was differed for various people living in different parts of the world. It's not so explanatory in many ways, but I should say that it's a very humorous book, but conveying its point in the perfect way, if you ask me. 8. Watch Again. A book or series that you want to reread or read again. I'm going to say the Grishaverse series by Lee Bardugo, especially with Shadow and Bone being set to release in April 23rd on Netflix. I'm very much pumped to read the entire series again. I don't know if I'll be able to reread all the books by the time the series comes out, but this is one series which I'm very much planning to reread pretty soon. Let's just wait and see if it's going to happen this year or not. Number 9, a non-fiction book that you'd recommend to everyone. You can see the books falling down right there, right? It's because of this one. The Ikigai by Francis Morales and Hector Garcia. If you've been following my channel, you probably know how much I love this book, okay? I've read this at least 3 times until now itself, and I've enjoyed it each and every time. Despite being a non-fiction book, it's not at all boring in any way. It just feels like a breath of fresh air every time you read it. It's about this particular group of people in a small region in Japan called Okinawa, because that is the region in the world in which most of the centenarians live, that is people over 100 years of age. The reasons for the longevity of life and their lifestyles are explained really well in this one. I am sure that if you read this one, you will enjoy it, as well as it is such a cozy, comfy non-fiction book, which I do think that everyone needs to read, because it will help you live a long and happy life if you follow at least some of the things that are put into this one. Number 10, Action and Adventure, an action-packed book. For this, I'm going to recommend one of my most recent favorites. It is Nevernight by J. Christoph. This is the first book in the Nevernight Chronicles trilogy, which is an adult grimdark fantasy series. Okay, I will say that this is not a series for everyone, because the kind of writing in this one is very, very bizarre and strange and weird, that everyone will not like it that easily. But I should say that I liked it a lot, and it was so much fun for me to read the whole time. And the action scenes in this one, usually I don't pay that much attention to action scenes while reading them, but in this one I just enjoyed each and every action scene a lot, because it was so violent, so gory, so bloody. Okay, the violence in this one is just so explicit. So if you're a person who does like being entertained, watching action movies and such, then I'd highly recommend you to try this one. Though the writing style is so totally weird and awkward, I should say that the action scenes in this one and the amount of action that's packed into this book and the series as a whole is just top notch. The last question number 11. New releases, a new book release or soon to be released book you're excited about. I'm excited about 2 books. Okay, by the time this video is out, sometime in March, I think, this is the book which will be released. It's a new release, Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. I might even possess the book by now, because I've pre-ordered it by the time I'm filming this video. The next one, which is about to release, that is in the 30th of March, is Rule of Wolves by Lee Bardugo, which is the second book in the King of Scars duology. It's the sequel to this book, which is King of Scars. And I should say I was not satisfied with many of the decisions that Lee Bardugo took in King of Scars, but I do think that she would manage to fix all those things in the second book, which is Rule of Wolves. Let's just wait and see. These are the 2 most anticipated books for me as of now. Yeah, those were all my answers for the questions in the Netflix book tag, and don't forget to leave your answers in the comments below. I'd like to know them a lot. And if you did enjoy watching today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel, because I publish new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.